Okay guys, it's Tuesday at 10:25 and I woke up at 9:40 and I did a meditation in bed where I was lying down, and it was like a meet your spirit guide meditation. I actually got up at 8 and I was like, I should stay awake right now, but I didn't. I went back to sleep because it's like overcast and cloudy, and I always get like a really terrible headache when it's like this, and I end up sleeping way too late. So I got up a little late, did that meditation. It was like a 12 or 14-minute meditation called Meet Your Spirit Guide. I'll link it below. It's pretty cool. I did it the other day. Today I just had like a relaxing meditation where I pretty much just fell asleep again. But when I did it the other day, I did meet a spirit guide or something, but it was a female and she was on my right side. And so the guided meditation takes you on a little bit of a journey into a cloud, into the sky, counts backwards from 10, allows you to now call in a guide, an angel, Jesus, Buddha, whatever thing is important to you. I immediately said, are you male or female? And then I got a message female, like right away. And then I said, where are you? What side are you on? And when I said that, I got this like crazy, warm, electric, buzzy, like burning sensation on my right thigh, like immediately, like psh, it was like, it almost startled me. And so I knew it was like the right side. And then my whole right side started like getting really hot. And then I could see her on my right side. She was like very like angelic looking or whatever, and like over top of my heart, like doing Reiki, like had her palms over my heart like this. She didn't say anything, she was just doing that. But I had like this like a very close call to getting in a car accident, which was not my fault. This person was speeding over a hill and I was turning left onto a street, and then they almost hit me, and then they came, they like skidded around and like skidded around me, and they could have ended up in the ditch, but they didn't. They were okay, and then we were okay, and we kind of looked back in the car to like look back and see if that other car was okay. And then you're kind of just like, oh my God, like you get so close to something terrible happening and you're like, oh my God, I'm fine. And then the first thing you think, or the first thing that I always think is like, oh my God, I have like an angel, or I have a spirit guide that's like keeping me safe. Because oftentimes I get in very close calls like that. And no, I'm not a bad driver. I've been in one fender bender. This was like earlier on when I was driving, like earlier on in my life. I'm actually a very good driver. It's usually when there's other people in the wrong who are speeding, and I'm looking everywhere and doing what I need to do. I start backing up, and then someone pops out of nowhere because they're not paying attention and speeding. Like stuff like that happens where like I've almost gotten into an accident, but I don't. And I always think that I have some kind of spirit guide or like angel that's watching over me and keeping me safe. Now, I believe in that stuff, but you might not. But what else are you supposed to believe in when things like that almost happen and then they don't? Like there's a reason why it didn't happen. So anyways, I did this meditation to kind of meet a guide and like thank them. And I don't know if this guide that I met was the one that stopped the accident from happening, but someone is looking over me. I know it because there's too many close calls like this in vehicles, even in vehicles when other people are driving. So this all happened Sunday and Monday, and then I just did that meditation again this morning, and it was just relaxing, like nothing crazy happened. I didn't meet that same guide. But anyways, the reason I don't know why I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this because it happened to me, and I woke up this morning and I was like, shit, I have to make a video today and I don't have anything. This is what happens to me almost like every day. Like sometimes I shoot ahead like what I ate in a day. I'm shooting a what I ate in a day to post today, which is whatever. And then sometimes I pre-shoot Ask Lawrence like a day in advance, but that's it. Every other time you see a video, it came together the day of, or like right now when I'm just talking to you. And I guess that is all the effort I need to put into these, because that's what vlogging is. It's not like whatever. And I've created some of these segments, like top 5 normally I would have done today, but I couldn't think of a top 5 that I wanted to do. So I was busy yesterday editing and I didn't have time to think about it or sit down and shoot it. So then I wake up and I'm like tired and I'm like, oh gosh, I have to shoot a video. And then I just turned the camera on, and then I decided to tell you about my spirit guide meditation. I've talked about this before about like asking questions in meditation. So whether you're doing a spirit guide meditation or just a regular meditation, you can always ask like, is anybody there? What message do I need right now? Or what do I need to let go of? And oftentimes you'll get a message which comes from your higher self, or maybe comes from a spirit guide or whatever. They're all one and the same. but to teach you to kind of pay attention to what your mind receives immediately. And that's almost like being psychic in a way. It's trusting the messages, it's trusting that what you're receiving, you're meant to receive, and that it's accurate. And that's like something that I started working on ever since I started meditation, because the woman who taught us meditation kind of taught us that method of receiving information and receiving messages from the higher dimension, or from your higher self, or from your spirit guides, and receiving and just saying and not questioning what it is. And there's an exercise that we would do when we first learned meditation, and we continue to do it in our own meditation circle. We focus on a person in the circle. So we're sitting in a circle, we're meditating, we're done meditation, and then we do what we call messages. So we focus on Natalie. Let's say we're focusing on my friend Natalie. We're sitting there, we close our eyes for like a minute or so, and we just focus on Natalie. We think about Natalie. We go, I need a message for Natalie. What is the message for Natalie? What does Natalie need to know right now? And then you'll get some kind of message. So some people are auditory, some people are visual, some people smell things. You may get a combination of all those kinds of messages, but you'll see sometimes a color. Maybe that's all you'll see at the beginning. And when you see the color, you can say, what does that color mean? Or what else is there? What's the message? And then sometimes you'll hear an actual message, like a voice, or you'll just receive a message. You know, when you're walking down the street and you just all of a sudden start thinking something, or if you get a feeling of like, oh, I shouldn't go down that road for some reason. It's the same thing. So it's learning to pay attention to that inner voice, which I've talked about. And you can also give these types of messages and listen to your intuition that might help benefit other people in your life. So I don't know, you should try it. You should try it in meditation with yourself first. And then if you have friends that are into meditation and you're meditating maybe in a group of a couple people, try doing this messages thing where you focus on the one person in the circle, close your eyes, get centered, and ask for a message for them and see what you get. Because we've done this countless times now, both at our meditation retreat that we go to and in our own meditation group. And it's crazy the messages you get and how they resonate with the person. And the person will always go, you know, if it's like if you see a color or you saw some kind of, you could get any kind of imagery. It could be an animal spirit. It could be just a whole scenario of like, I see you in a plane and I see you doing this. All the time, it always makes sense. Sometimes it's really spot on. Other times it's more of a message that's like, oh, cool. Like, that's a really cool message. I don't know what it means yet. And then you think about it a week later because, you know, it relates to something. So I just like that exercise of building that intuition and building that trust in the universe, and the trust that what you receive is what you're meant to receive, and you're constantly getting messages from your higher self that you need to pay attention to. The more you do that, the more you'll be able to distinguish the difference between, you know, high stress, anxious thinking patterns or negative thinking patterns versus when you're just getting that clear consciousness, you know, in you. And it's like being creative. It's like when you get a creative surge in whatever medium you work in. It's like flowing through you from a higher place. And that's the same type of thing as well. It's like when you let go of everything and you stop thinking from the mind place and you just allow stuff to happen, something can come over you and come through you, whether it's to tell somebody a piece of advice, whether it's to share something with somebody, or for your own creative endeavor, or whatever it is. You guys watched the video of Phoebe and I from the other night. I have more videos of Phoebe and I that I will put together and release over the next couple weeks. But I mentioned that I went to a new moon ritual on Friday because it was new moon in Leo on Friday. And our meditation group, me and my friends, we call ourselves the Peace Warriors. And we had connected with this other woman, Karina, who runs something called Wild Goods. If you go on Instagram, it's Wild Goods. And she kind of went on the same sort of journey that we all had around the same time. And my friend Lorena, who you've met, connected with her at her shop and started talking with her over a year ago. And we constantly said, oh, we should be collaborating on something, or we should do a meditation group together, or something. And it never really worked out until just last Friday, because Karina and her sister Paulina were holding a new moon ritual on this property that they're staying at right now, about an hour outside of Toronto. So people were asking, is it something they can go to? Right now, like the one we went to on Friday was the first one ever. But you can sign up for Karina's email list, and she'll probably be doing these more often because it was quite successful and it was really good. So go to wildgoods.com, sign up for Karina's email updates, and I'm sure soon she'll have more of a public open call out for her gatherings, because this is something she wants to build, more of a tribe like this of women. I think right now it is just for women. She wants to create a community of like-minded women. So if you're a guy, sorry. But I was gonna say, if you are interested in going to some kind of new moon ritual, but also create some kind of new moon ritual for yourself. What we did on Friday, we had a circle of women. I didn't know half of them, so I was meeting new people. And the main exercise we did was, it's always a good time on a new moon to really let go of things that are holding you back, or let go of things that are no longer serving you. So whether those are things, jobs, people in your life, feelings and emotions, all those things you want to let go of. So we, write out 1 or 2 or 3 things, and then we burn them. We burn those things we need to let go of so that they are gone. And of course we talk about the elements of earth, fire, air, and water. And the element of fire is very passionate, but also very cleansing because you can burn things away. And then we set new intentions. And what we happened to do on Friday is the new intentions we set, we all shared them out loud with each other. And as we were sharing them, we were putting an offering into a basket of like bath salts, like gray sea salt and dried flowers. And we were adding essential oils as our offering, or dried flowers as our offering. And we were putting those intentions into these bath salts. And then on the full moon in a couple weeks, on August 29th, we all took some of the bath salts home with everyone's intentions and manifestations in them, and then we're supposed to have a bath in them on the full moon. So I thought that was a really cool ritual / exercise to do. So you could even do this yourself. We're in the new moon cycle, so you could still burn away things that are no longer serving you and set new intentions and put an offering into the bath or whatever, and then sit in those intentions and manifestations. And then it's supposed to be all these things that you want to happen should come to fruition in the next full moon cycle, or by the full moon cycle. I'm not an expert on all this moon stuff, so I'm not trying to be either. So you can ask me some questions, but there's a lot of good resources online. Like we look at Mystic Mama for like a reading of what each moon cycle means and represents. We just get all our information and wisdom from the internet and from other people who are doing this. Like there's so much to know about the moon, and I don't really know. I know it's a powerful time. I know there's lots of things that always make sense at the time when, depending on which moon it is and which sign it's in, and if Mercury is in retrograde, if Venus is in retrograde right now. When you read about it, you go, oh God, this all makes sense with what's going on in my life. So I do kind of follow it, but not like religiously, like not to a T, but I'm aware of it. Oh, and I was gonna say, if you want to go to do things like this, you should check in your community wherever you live. Yoga studios sometimes hold meditations or rituals on the new moon and full moon cycles, so you could inquire there. And if you have like a crystal store, or like a spiritual crystal store wherever you live, there's usually one in every town. You always find one. You should connect with the person who owns that store, people who work there, because they'll know where there's group meditations being held in your city. And they'll be able to offer you information and resources. That's usually a good place to go. I guess that's my video for today. Hopefully you got some information out of this that will help you. And ask me questions for #AskLauren. I've got a good one though coming up this Friday that somebody asked on Twitter. I can't wait to talk about it. And tomorrow will be what I ate in a day, because that's actually easy to shoot. I just shoot what I'm eating. So I find that one's not too much work. Okay, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have an amazing day, and read my shirt. Never met a sheep I didn't love. Sheep are amazing. Don't wear wool.